Good afternoon. Welcome back to the News Hour. This is a particularly sweaty subject for me, but I gotta get into it. Famous YouTuber and streamer MoistCr1TiKaL, aka Penguin Zero, aka his legal name, Charles White, is supposedly leaving, but I doubt that. He made a statement saying that he was going to be leaving the official podcast and Redstream, but a lot of people on the internet are saying that, oh, he's leaving the internet completely. But he had a bad take. I particularly have enjoyed his content for a few years now, and I don't think it's any reason why he should step back from the internet altogether, or even the amount that he's announced. I think it's a bad take, and he could be convinced to change his opinion. But anyway, we got this from Scanner. Popular streamer Backtracks after expressing support for minors undergoing gender transition. MoistCr1TiKaL, I thought he was talking about the overall point of a child transitioning, which is a years-long process. YouTuber Charles Christopher White Jr., who streams under the name MoistCr1TiKaL, has retracted his statement that parents can choose to medically transition their child's sex. Over the weekend, White participated in a stream debate with fellow streamer Nicholas Ken de Balenfazi, professionally known as Sneeko, and discussed recent allegations of child grooming levied against former Mr. Beast star Chris Tyson. During the debate, Sneeko expressed opposition to age of consent laws for children and noted the age of consent was not uniform across the United States or other countries. Sneeko further argued some minors that have reached a certain level of maturity should be allowed to marry if a parent and child consented. I think that means if the minor, along with their parents or parent, consent. By the way, I do have a friend, I guess former friend, since I haven't talked to him in years. When we were just graduated from high school, he was 18 and he started dating a 14-year-old. In that case, I feel like it's kind of okay, but if you're much older than that, like, the age difference matters. But yeah, the parents consented and they ended up getting married like the next year. Yeah, that's Florida for you. If everybody's consenting, the parents okay with it, why not? Sneeko said. White countered Sneeko's argument, saying although there was no uniformed legal age of consent across jurisdictions, the concept of legal age of consent was morally justified. Sneeko then pushed it back on White by asking if a child could undergo HRT and gender transition surgery. I think that is totally fine as long as everyone is consenting, White said. I believe everyone has the right to do with their body what they want to do. Not everybody. No. You know, children, they're what's the word? Impulsive. You know, you don't, if your kid says, I want to eat ice cream for dinner, you don't say, okay, well, we'll give you a bucket of ice cream that you can have for dinner. No, you say, no, eat your meat and vegetables. That's it. Eat your meat and vegetables, and maybe you can have a little bit of ice cream afterwards. I think, yeah. White went on to compare medical gender transition for minors with choosing a sport. And we've got the clip here, one clip out of however many there are, of the debate between Moist and Sneeko.
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting, as you agree with.
Okay, so as long as everyone...
If your parents are okay with it and you are okay with it, I think that's totally a familial decision to make, yeah.
Okay, so a child can cut their penis off and take hormone blockers and change their biology forever, but they can't get married?
Well, that's a decision that now extends beyond the family, because now you're bringing in a different party. So if you have someone that's your age coming in saying, I want to marry that child, I don't think that can happen under any circumstance.
So,
no.
But it's still a personal decision. You're still deciding.
It's
but no,
still, because there's
take the other party out of the equation. It's a personal
decision.
decision. If I'm 16 and I personally want to marry this girl, she's beautiful. She's 21 years old. Her family wants to do it. My family wants to do it. You're saying I can't do that. We're both consenting. I'm ready to go. I'm physically mature, but I'm not allowed to marry because Moist says that woman's a pedophile. But if then the next day I leave it, I'm depressed, I want to cut my penis off, I can go right into the clinic, snip it off, and start taking HRT like Chris Tyson. That's a society that makes sense to you?
It is. I believe everyone has I believe everyone has the right to do with their body what they want to do.
Oh.
No, I can't agree with Charlie there. Despite how much I might like him and his opinions on different subjects, it's just not right. If you wanna have that freedom over your body, you got to be 18. That's just it. After facing backlash for his remarks, White backtracked his argument during a Monday night stream. I assumed that Sneeko was talking in hyperbole about a 9-year-old getting their getting their phallus cut off, because I didn't have the assumption that anyone thought that is how transitioning works, White said, adding children could not undergo immediate gender transition. And let's listen to what Charlie had to say here.
And now I give a perspective on something that immediately gets misconstrued, and I do...
Let's watch this on X. I think we can get a better quality video there.
And now I give a perspective on something that immediately gets misconstrued, and I do recognize a lot of it's my fault. I assumed that Sneeko was talking in hyperbole about a 9-year-old getting their dick cut off, because I didn't have the assumption that anyone thought that is how transitioning works. There is, under no circumstances, any legality behind a kid saying, I want to change genders, and then immediately going in and getting their dick cut off. That doesn't happen. I thought he was just talking in hyperbole. Obviously, no one says that's good. That's not at all what I was fucking saying. I thought he was talking about the overall point of a child transitioning, which is years-long process. And you can't even get that fucking surgery legally until you are 18. Like, I didn't think that was a literal statement he was making. I did not, and I guess I should have assumed that he was being literal, and that's on me. But I'm sure you can point to like fringe examples of like some evil doctors performing it on like kids or something. I'm sure that happens. There's corruption and everything. But I wasn't under the assumption that's what we were talking about.
You gonna say something else, Charlie?
But yeah, there's no winning on anything. Sneeko gets away with saying 12 to 15-year-olds can marry adults. I don't think his chat looks anything like the YouTube chat here. He literally, multiple times, reaffirms that he believes 12 to 15-year-olds can legally, morally, and should marry adults. And there is no problems for him. But I said that I think it's okay for a child to transition, to learn about it. It's a process. You don't just go in and immediately get your dick cut off. That's not how it works. There's therapy.
I want to specify... Children marrying adults is not the argument. There's a nuance there. It's the age difference. You know, if it's like a 17-year-old marrying, I don't know, a 28-year-old, then yeah, I agree with Charlie here that that's not grounds for, if the parents consent. That's an older person preying upon a younger person. But if the age difference is something like 16 and 21, then, or 16 between 18 and 21, then that's a little bit more morally sound, as long as the parents consent.
There's other professionals that get involved years before any kind of surgery can even be an option. Because again, you have to be 18 for the fucking surgery in the first place.
But, as we've seen before, I don't have it pulled up here, but there are some states that use legal loopholes to introduce hormone replacement therapy at a much younger age, even as young as like 12 or 11, which is absolutely not okay. hormone replacement therapy should be treated like gender transition surgery. They're both medical transitions that occur when you're trying to change your gender. Obviously, no one says that's good. That's not at all what I was saying, White said. I thought he was talking about the overall point of a child transitioning, which is a years-long process. White then claimed minors could not undergo surgery for medical gender transition until they were of legal age. I didn't think that was a literal statement he was making, and I guess I should have assumed he was being literal. That's on me, he continued. Yeah. Anyways, Charlie, if you ever see this, and I hope you do, please don't stop anything of what you're doing. I value your opinions on various subjects, and I would be remiss to see you step away from your internet presence. Even though I disagree with you on this, I would hope that we can convince you to change your opinion. That's about all I have to say about that. So now going on to people saying that MoistCr1TiKaL is going on an indefinite hiatus. That's not the case. He just says he's leaving the official podcast and Red Thread. He didn't say he was leaving his YouTube channel. So, guys, Melanie Mac is saying this as long as some other people. He's not leaving everything. So that's about it. If you like my content, I hope you'll smash the like button and subscribe and tick the bell for more. And I think I'm gonna stay with my thumbnail format from now on, just taking a snapshot of the news article and all that jazz. So whatever you do, don't have a bad day, and I'll catch you later. Ciao.